like a month before my bar mitzvah, my dad just said, I assume you know about sex. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he goes, all right. Certainly won't get anybody pregnant.
They hate that talk, right?
Yeah.
They just would rather stick needles in their eyes than to have that conversation.
Yeah. Did your dad have the sex talk with you?
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, no.
Dad. God.
Well, I had no talk of any kind
Really?
with anyone about anything.
I had Playboys that I looked at.
I was sitting in the car and Dad went, some things that you're going to start noticing in your body. I was like, no.
I knew about it because of porno mags and other 12-year-olds. And then he was like, yeah, well, just don't get any girls pregnant. I was like, I won't. God, okay.
I started to have girlfriends at around 12 because I had older brothers who were like, girls are awesome. And my dad says, hey, you know these girls you knock about with? I said, yeah. He goes, you're careful. I said, yeah. I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, great, let's make some tea. Let's have some tea.
I remember being 8 or 9 years old, and we were using bad language in the street. And I used the F word, and I was like to the other kid, what? It's just, that's how you have a baby. That's how you have a baby, that's all. That's what. So that kid goes home and says it to his parents. His mother calls my mother. Now, my mother is very upset. She says, do you know what means? Right away, your mother is saying to you and yelling it at you. So already your brain is like, and she goes, it's the penis going into the vagina. Well, your head explodes.
Al's been putting you through the mill here.
You got
4 years old.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, because we asked for it, because we would always make a joke. Well, we made him. We made this little guy. And finally one day he went, hey, how'd you guys make me?
Yeah, right.
And he had a whole big theory about it.
Really?
Thank goodness. Yeah, it was amazing. And it's amazing how close to accurate it was.
That's awesome.
He was like, I think Daddy had a magic wand and it exploded.
That's so funny.
It's like, really? In the last year, he's actually asked us about God, death, and sex, okay? Which is a little early for all these topics, but one way or another, he found his way into them. Do you remember, did you have the sex talk?
We haven't gotten into the old,
I have no idea.
Have it often as you can, son. And if there's any leftovers, bring them by.
What was the question she asked
Literally, I think it was, what is sex?
when she was 8?
Yes. And I think I gave it fairly clinical and then threw in a little, people do this also to have kids and because it feels good and then whatever. And it literally, like out of a movie, she went, you did that to her twice?
We took a road trip, he and I. He was 16, and this was the talk. Listen, you have a girlfriend, right? Yes. I don't want to be a grandpa. The end.
What the hell are you going to say?
When a man loves a woman, this is what happens, and men have penises and women have vaginas, and they put them in, and you know how this works.
I'm familiar.
This is something medical. It's a part of the body. It's real. It's scientific, and there's other elements, but to be real with them and not make up things. I mean, I can't stand it in general when parents make up euphemisms for their private body parts. We don't call our elbow the hoo-ha or the wee-wee or the ya-ya or whatever. And it just teaches kids a different level of comfort versus shame.
They do it in school, by the way, also.
They teach it in school, so you don't have to.
Right.
They showed them some movie, and then someone spoke to them.
When you're a teenager, when you're in college, you can start thinking about girlfriends. There need to be love involved and possibly marriage involved with that very important step. So
you're going to lie to him?
Dumo.
Mo don't have no kids. You know what I'm saying?
I was teaching sex education to 8th grade boys yesterday. And I stand up and try and talk to them about it, but I know that I have how much influence? Because they're gathering as much information as they can from a lot of places I regret. But they're gathering it because their development has pushed them there. There's no stopping that.
Did your dad have the sex talk with you? How'd that go for you? How was that?
Looking back at it, It was really beautiful, and it was almost word for word what I did with my son.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He talked about how a lot of your mates will talk to you about what they think it is and what sex is.
Right.
That you've got to do this by a certain age and you've got to do that by a certain age and you want to be the first and all of that kind of thing. And it's not a race. It's the most beautiful thing that you can do on this planet, and it will come to you when it's the right time. And you know, and you need to respect the person that you're with. I went to a sex education chat at my daughter's school, and the big thing that came out of that for me was when you think it's time to have that chat, it's too late. That is the number one thing. Sex education in Scandinavia happens at 8, and they have the lowest teen pregnancy rate in Europe because it's not made to be some kind of taboo. It's part of who they are, as opposed to being some kind of thing that we don't talk about.
My father had this stupid book about sex. We went upstairs to the attic. My father had a pack of cigarettes, sweating profusely, and I sat there and read this dumb book about, you know, the two birds loving each other, and he smoked the entire pack of cigarettes in the time
Really?
that it took me to read the book. He said, "Do you have any questions?" Like, in the look in his eyes, like, "Please God, tell me you don't have any questions." He goes, "I need to go smoke somewhere else."
Wow.